Okay, great, right? So today is day 12 of Playwright, day 12 of Playwright, and today the objective which I have in mind is let's cover the locators. Okay, let's cover the locators in Playwright. Also, as we were discussing, we have two categories of locators here, right? In Playwright, one are the ones like which we are already aware of, which we have been using from our knowledge of Selenium and all, right? Where we keep writing XPath and CSS path to find the elements. In Playwright, right, there are some customized locators which you can use, which are related to accessibility testing. Okay, or let's say accessibility approach, I should say. So there are a lot of methods available on the Playwright which you can use, which can help you to work on this area. Like, and by default, if you see, right, if we will check, you will see that by default Playwright uses this approach, right, to get the elements right while recording the screen. So let's see like how these are. Let's just focus on that part. The next thing which we'll discuss is the recording option. So we'll complete this discussion like what are the parameters we have on the recording options. And the last thing, if we'll have time, we'll also try to understand extension, a VS Code extension which Microsoft has provided, right? VS Code extension for Playwright, which is a very good extension, and this helps you in a lot of places. Okay, let's start. So let's see this. Playwright, we have the API docs. If we go to the page, right, this page part here. Last time when we were discussing, right, we understood one thing that what we do is we okay page as we know, right, page is like one tab, right, on the browser. Okay, and this like this tab, and another tab you get the URL and all. So what we were discussing last time was that we were discussing about like if we have to find the element on the screen, how do you do it? You have the page part to it, right? And then you say locator, and then you can either give an XPath to it, you can either give an XPath to it or a CSS path, right? You do not have to specify that it's an XPath or a CSS path. Playwright is intelligent enough to understand it. You just have to provide the value, right? And once you do it, you will get a locator on it, right? And then you can get the actions which you can take on the locator, like a click, right? Or let's say get a value or all of that, right? Which we'll discuss later to which you can understand afterwards. But let me just show you right now. Locator, right? This one. The method returns an element locator that can be used to perform actions on this page, right? Locator is resolved to the element immediately before performing an action. So a series of actions on the locator can in fact be performed on different DOM elements. That would happen if the DOM structure between those actions has changed. Great, right? So it is saying it is resolved to the immediately before performing an action. So our series of action of the same locator can in fact be performed on different DOM elements. Okay, great. So what they're saying is that this finding of the element, right, would be happening just before making the action, right? So that at the right time we are finding the element, and once the action has to be taken, it will be taking the action. Okay, if you see here, right, you have to provide a selector. Okay, when it says a selector, it's a string value. Okay, a selector to use when resolving DOM elements. Okay, this part, options part, ignore it as of now, we'll discuss afterwards. But and what does it return you, right? What does it return you? It returns you a locator class. What is a locator class? This is the locator class. Okay, locators are the central piece of automating and retry ability. In a nutshell, locators represent a find. No, let's just focus on these methods, right? You can see you can do a click, clear, right, count, double click, and all that, right? So all the actions which you can take on an element are done through this locator class. So if we have to understand the hierarchy again, right? We have this browser first, right? Then we have the browser context. Then browser context is a session, right? Inside the browser context you have a page, right? Inside the page, right, you will find a locator, right? Like by doing this, and this will give you the access to the locator class. And on that locator, right, you will get all the methods which we are just currently seeing, which are all this, right? Now, so this is from the locator set, right? And I think we have seen it last time also, but let's look at it again. So let me create a branch for today right now. check out minus b day 12. Okay, so this is one part. Let's see this one, right? So if you see, right, await page locator, right? We were able to give the X path here, right? This is a CSS path. This is an X path. Both are working fine. And what do you get after a locator? You get what? You get a locator, right? You get a locator. And if you see here, right? You see this? Locator does not gives back you a promise. Okay, it does not, right? It does not give you a promise back. What gives you a promise back? This fill part. You see, promise. And if you are just keeping it like this, right, you can leave it like this also, right? And you can just say let's say locator equals to this, right? You will get it here. And what you can do afterwards is you can do lock this here and await, right? So where the exactly the locator is getting found, it is not at this line. Okay, it is not at this line. It is happening when you are running an action on it. At that point itself, it will look at what is loc, right, over here, and it will find the element on the runtime and then do some actions on it. And that's why it was saying, if you look at fill, right, it is returning you a boolean value, right? Let will have to see if there is something, right, which you can chain afterwards also. But I hope you're getting the point, right? And this is coming from what? Locator class, the fill method. Similarly, there are I think all these methods, right, which you can see. These are all the methods. We'll go one by one, but that is what we have, right? So this is the using the locator class. Now looking at the other part, how to find the elements, right? Finding the element is the first thing for us as of now. So we know one way of doing it through the locator part. You have to specify X path or CSS path. Now there are many more. Those methods are with this. If you see this, get by all text, get by label, get by placeholder, get by role, get by test ID, get by text, get by title, right? All these methods over here, right, are more from the accessibility side. Let's start seeing this, right? Allows locating element by their alt text, right? So let me start saying this. So one way is through the locator part, right? And then there is a class of methods here, right? There is a group of methods here which helps you on the like I would say accessibility side, right? Let's start writing it. Get by alt text. What is alt text? Alt text means alternative text, right? Which you would like to see for a value, right? In case of images, you see these kind of a text where you see alt here, right? There's a parameter, there's a property on the image tag called alt, and because when you try to create an image tag, when someone tries to create an image tag for a web page, what they do is they specify the file, right, which should be rendered in that image block so that you can see the image, right? But what happens is like I mean for the screen readers, right, which helps in let's say reading the screen or maybe um, I mean these see what happens is, right, in US I believe it came from US or UK, I don't remember, but what they did was they asked, right, for the spatially challenged people, right, what they did was they said that okay, that these guys have trouble in seeing let's say someone that cannot see or let's say someone cannot hear properly, right? What happens is they thought of like let's do one thing, let's provide them a convenient way of looking at things, right, or understanding the things from the UI side. So what they came up with is they said that okay, we'll try to introduce accessibility, right, on the web pages, so that what will happen is like if someone cannot see, let's say if someone cannot see, right, or has a problem in seeing clearly, what they can do is they can start using a screen reader. Okay, they can start using a screen reader. Again, it could be there are a lot of hundred other options available in the world, right? So what they can do is the screen reader will do what? It can read your web page, right? It can read your web page and tell you okay that let's say the cursor is on the image, or let's say cursor is on the click button. Okay, cursor is over there, right? Like this, right? If someone cannot see, right, so person is able to hear. So when machine reads about it, you get to know okay, my cursor is over here, so let me make a click, right? Something like this. But how would the machine know that the cursor is on the image? For doing all of that, right, what they did was they said that okay, let us do one thing, let us introduce some properties, right, in these existing tags. right? And they said that if you want your websites to be published or available in UK or US, right, or let's say for a particular group of people, then you will have to compliance with these accessibility rules, right? And as part of it, right, they laid down some rules and said that if you want to create an image tag, right, you will have to provide an alt tag where you will give the description of the your image, right? So that once the screen reader is reading this, right, it can just read it out and let the person know about it. I hope you understand the context now, right? Okay. And this method over
Yes.
here right, in Playwright, which says get by alt text, right? So it can work out, right? It can work out in all the tags which might have this property alt, right? Because Playwright knows that alt is a property used in accessibility testing, right? For people to give an or the description of the something, right? Which should not have a text. Let's say a video, right? Let's say a video tag. Let's say an image tag, right? Let's say a sound tag, right? All of these does not require a description, but they are made mandatory, right? Or let's say compliant by those rules, right? So this is one of the way. So wherever, if you see there, it allows locating elements by their alt text. If an element has this alt text, you can use it. If it does not have, you cannot use it, right? There are some other rules also, right, which they are specifying in a lot of places. But just for your purpose, right? Okay, if you see here, right, object options. So what you can do is you can say there is a exact thing. Okay, let me show you, right? What I can show here is do we have a website? Let's see. Does our website has this? Let's say image tag. Do we have the image tag here? No, we do not have any. Oh, we have the images here, but this is an SVG. Okay, no. Okay, we do not have an image tag. And let's see, do we have the alt text? No, we do not have even alt text here. Okay, in my case, I do not have it, but I hope you're getting the point, right? Similar to class, right? Let's say it's an image tag or maybe some other tag, and you have an alt text and you will have some string over there. Okay, and if you have it, you can make use of it. That is one part. Let's go back again. Let's start, right? So it works on the alt property, right, of this, right, of it over there. How do you write it? Let's see. How do you write it? You will say something like this. You will say page dot get by alt text, right? If you see, it accepts a string value, right? And you can also provide an options, right? Options object. Let's see. Let's provide, let's say, CodeGen, right? Now what you can leave it like this, right? You can leave it like this. It will go and find any tag in the entire page where there is an alt property, and that alt property contains this text. Whatever it finds, right, it'll give you that. In some cases, right, let's say these text, right, this text CodeGen, where A is capital and J is capital in my case, let's say it is not written like this on the web page, right? And since this matches, it is case sensitive, it will not match it, right? So what you can do is you can provide the properties here, right? There's a second what I say should say the argument, right, to this method, where you can provide an options object. How do you do it? You have to create the object here, right, through this curly braces, and then you can provide a property called exact here, and you can say true. When you do this, right, when you do this, it will match this as is, right, what I'm typing here. But if you say false, then it will ignore the case sensitive part and just take this as is, right? Let's see this, right? Case sensitive and whole string, right? So it is like it should be exactly this kind of a thing, right? Like a CodeGen written like the way I have provided, it should be the same on the screen. If it is that the case, we should say exact equals to true. If we don't want that behavior, it should be false. Okay. Default is false, ignored when locating by a regular expression. Note that exact match still trims white spaces. Okay, so at least the white spaces are also trimmed in this case. Great. So this is one way, right? How do you record this, right? If you do this, right, let's start. We'll say npx Playwright CodeGen. This is how you start recording the screens. Let's try to do this. Okay, and what does it return you back, right? See here, it gives you back locator only, right? And then once you have the locator, you can do what? All the methods which you were able to do here in the locator part. Okay. Let's wait for this to start. Okay, so the code generator has started, right? It has started. Let's do one thing. It has opened. It has given me a Chromium session also, right? If I want to hit any website, let's hit a website like what should I open? Let's open Facebook. Not okay, Facebook, right? So do we? If you see, right, go to here. Let us make a click on this, right? It is using name here, right? It is using another accessibility thing, right? Get by role. It has image, name this, right? It has an image tag, but it used this one. But again, right, this is again used by Playwright. You do not have any control on it. It is preparing a script for you, right? The recorded script for you. Whatever operations you will do, it will show all of them, right? And you can see, right, it did not use the locator directly. It used get by role, which is another accessibility method. Okay, we'll look into it afterwards. Let's just stop this. Stop this part. Come out of this and do this part. Okay, so this is another method, get by alt text. Let's look at one more method, which is get by role, right? These are all the methods, right? So let's look at label first. Get by label. What does label do? Right, again the same option, right? String and a options part, right? In the exact part, right? Tries text to locate for the element 4, allows locating input elements by the text of the associated label or area labeled by. So if you see this, let's look at here, right? Get by label, right? So for example, this method will find inputs, okay, by label username and password in the following DOM. If you see here, right, there's an input tag which has a property called area label, right? Username. Wherever you see this area part, right? Area thing, right? You have to understand that this has been added just to make our website compliant with the accessibility rules. Okay. So area label, there are more with this kind of a thing, right? Area. So okay. So if you see, right, input area label username, right? There is, so in this case, right, if you want to get it, what you can do is you can just say get by label username, right? It will be able to find, right, this input tag because here it matches to this name, right? So this is one of the case where the things will match. Second case, right? If you see in this case, right, we have a label tag, and here you see this password input. See, just to understand the complete rule, right? You can just read this line. It says allows locating input elements by the text of the associated label or area labeled by element. Okay, area labeled by element. So either you have a tag with this name, which is a label. Okay, label, and here you will have a text property, I believe, all out by the text of associated label, right? So like you see this here password here, right? You see this password here. So in the label text, right, it will look for the text part. Okay, you have to look for a text part. In the case of area labeled by, let's say if you have an element with this name, right? In this case also, right, it will be able to find this. Okay, the text mentioned between these texts, or the last option it is saying is that and or by the area label attribute, or let's say if you have any element here, right, any element, let's say image tag, and in the image tag if you have a property called this area label, right? So the name area label, and you have a, let's say, a text mentioned inside this, right, like this. So in all the three cases, right, this tag can be anything. It could be a div tag, it could be any tag, right? What is important is this property. Okay, so what get by role does is, get by label does is, whatever you specified here, right, under the string, it will look under these three categories, and wherever it matches, right, here in these two cases, it will look at the text, right, between the tags, right, And in this case, in the last case where you will see area label, it will look for a value of this property. Okay, so in all these three cases, this can find the element and you can use it. Okay, that is for the specific purpose, and all the rules are mentioned here. So here, if you use username, just username, it will be able to find this element, because here, right, you have an input tag, right, where area label is a property, right? So it will be able to match. If you just say password, right, here in this case, what will be able to find? It will be able to find this element. Why? Because here it is starting with a label tag, and this is the text here, right? It will match to it and it will give it you back. And last is what here, right? ID. Does it also look for ID? No, I don't think it looks for ID. This would not work. Allows element label or by the area label attribute, right? So these are the two things that you'll be able to find. Okay. And again, it has an option of exit where you can say that please match. Here it takes care of the case sensitive and the whole string, and it does trims all the white spaces also. I hope you understand white spaces. So if you have a text written like this, right, where you have some spaces here, and then you say Akhil, and maybe some spaces there, right? What it will do is it will trim these spaces and only take out this one, and then match it to our value which I have mentioned. Okay, let's say if I was written Akhil Jain, right? It would have taken all this out and it would have tried to match this. If you say exact equals to true, right, it will fail here, right? Why? Because Akhil is not equal to Akhil Jain. One thing, if let's say there was some case sensitivity also, then also it would have failed. And trim part anyhow is done. So trim is always done, whether you set exact true or not. Okay, right? So I do not have examples in my side to show you label part, but I hope you're getting the point. The third thing, right? Get by placeholder. Again, if you look at this placeholder, right, allows locating elements, input elements by the placeholder text. Now it is very specifically saying, right? The third thing is we looked at get by label, right? Get by label. Let me try to write the rule. So here what happens is it works on the labeled uh, tag and the area label by, so these tags, or it can work on any tag which has the property called area label, right? So it works on all three cases. The third thing which we are trying to now understand is get by placeholder. Now this placeholder thing, right, works on the input tags only, right? Input tags sometimes, right, you have a placeholder thing to it, right, where you see some default values. Like our website, I think also have it, right? If you see in our website, you see email and password being shown. These are placeholder values. If I am right, let's see. Actually, should not be wrong. You see here, right? Placeholder email. Okay. So for these, and you can see it's an input tag. So I can find this element, right, using that get by placeholder. Let's try it actually. What I will do is let me copy this test case. Let's skip this test case. Test.skip. Test.skip. Let's paste it here. And we are good. So we are saying test case, let's say 10 email, right? No, we'll not do say email. What we'll do is we'll say page uh, get by placeholder, get by placeholder. What value you have to check? Email thing, right? And let's say I will say option as exact true. So this also has a similar thing, right? Now what I'll do is it will be able to return me the locator part. It will be able to return me the locator thing, and I would like to do the fill part to it. And I will say fill JDA @ gmail.com. Okay, let's try to see this whether it works or not. And also I have to put await here. And after this, let's pause the screen so that we can see the execution happening. Page.pause. Okay, let's run it. And it's Playwright test project equals to Chrome. Oh, it has an error somewhere. Oh, okay. You see, it was able to fill it. Why? Because it was able to find the element through the placeholder thing. Okay. Right. So I hope this is also clear. The placeholder part. There is after this we have a get by rule. Now, if you see right, allows locating elements by their area role, area attributes, and accessible names. Now this is like if you see right, this is more like more on accessibility, right? Because it primarily works on these three things only, right? And they, I think, I'm not a better person here to explain this, but I think if you want to read about it more, you can please explore more on the website. But what I can tell you here is, let's see the examples which are given here, right? Allows locating elements by the area role, area attributes, and accessible names. Let us see what are area roles, right? Now this is the whole documentation about it. So uh, how should I say this, right? But again, right, if you see this heading tag, let's take this example, right? They are saying get by role heading, right? H3, which says sign up, right? You see how it is writing, how it is writing this heading name sign up, get by role checkbox, right? You have a checkbox which says subscribe, this one, right? Like, but how it is able to find, I don't know, right? So again, this get by role is something, right, which you can use, or if you have the experience of finding this and knows about all of this, which I don't know, okay, myself. And what I would say is, if let's say if you are interested in still writing the code using these locators, the best way to go with it is to start recording your screen, because Playwright will be able to find your elements, right, using this get by role. As we were seeing, right, this is the primarily thing, right, which Playwright uses for almost all the test cases. You see, get by role. This is the last recording which we did. You can see it was able to write it like this: text box, name, email, password. For all the elements, it was able to write it using get by rule only, right? But this works on accessibility, which I do not have much more experience on. But you can see, if you see this, right, get by role could be all of these, right? All of these items. It could be an alert, it could be an alert box, deletion, dialog, right? Navigation, none. In our case, it is using text box, right? So if you see this text box, where is text box here? Text box, TQRST, text box, right? So text box is there, right? And then what other properties it has? What other properties it has? You have to first provide the role of it, and then you can provide the options. In the options, right, there are so many options which you can provide: checked, disabled, exec, expanded, right, included, hidden, level, name, press, selected, and all that. Again, I would say, if you know more about it, please use it. Otherwise, stick to what you are aware of. Okay, but if interested, you can start recording it and you will get it. Now here also, right, they, I think they have given a good explanation about a lot of things, right, about almost everything here, right? So you can please check it here, but for my purpose, I'll not be using this very often, because I like to write my own X path and CSS path rather than depending on this path. Okay. Okay. Get by test ID. This you can ignore as of now. We'll see if there would be a need to learn about it. Okay. The other tools are get by text and get by tracking. These are very straightforward. But let's see. Let me go back to our documents here. We saw get by role, right? So get by role is something which is primarily for the accessibility part, right? Accessibility part. But again, you can please explore the accessibility testing first to even to start working on it. Okay, the next part is we're discussing about get by text and get by typing. Let me write them first. Get by text and get by title. But I hope, right, you're getting it from the name itself that this would be very straightforward. But let's see. Get by text allows locating elements that contains given text, right? If you see this here, right, consider the following norm structure. We have a div tag hello world hello, right? There are three tags here. So within the div tag, you have a span tag, I believe, and within the span tag, I mean, this is one thing and this is the another thing, right? You can locate by a text substring, exact string, or a regular expression. So if you say get by text world, right, it will match to what? It will match to this tag, the span tag. If you say hello world, right, hello world, it will match to this entire block. Why? Because this is how the text works, right? In general, you can keep on adding all the text, but if you give the parent tag, it will work on all the text written in the child's one, right? So it shows you this way, hello text. If you say only hello, right, only hello, it will be matching this part, right? But you have to say exact true, right? If you are saying this only, then it will be able to find this. Otherwise, it will be able to match here also, this part. That's why you have to say exact true. Right? You can see matches both divs. If you say only hello, right, it will match both the divs, and matches second div if you gave this one. Okay. Hello $I, which is I don't know. Like this is a regular expression I'm not very good at. So this is how they've written. So if we go back, get by text, you just specify text information, right? Whatever text. What is the text? Something you mentioned between the text. Let's say there is a button here, right? Button tag, and it will close here, right? So whatever you mention here, the opening after the opening bracket and before the closing bracket, whatever you mention, this is your text block, right? And this particular piece of thing, right, works on this only. Okay, so this is straightforward. And again, the options thing here is the exact part. You can say true, and it will exactly match the value. If it does not matches, it will say the element found. Now the last part is get by title. Get by title. Go here. Allows locating elements by their title attribute. Okay, attribute. So here, if you see, there's a span tag, and there's a title attribute. This one, and this is the value issues count. Right. If you start writing this issues count, like get by title, it will find the tags on the page which have this title attribute, and if it has it, it will return you, right? Here you can see it is having it, and then you have an assertion being placed, which we have not learned. So we'll look into it. What are the object thing which you can provide? I think the same stuff, exact only. Okay, exact only. Get by title. So it will work on the title attribute. Title attribute of any element. Of any element. And again, you can provide exact, right, if you need it. So these are the different options, right, which you have to find the element, right? If you see, right, if you stick to this only, or stick to this only, or stick to this only, or these two, right, you might not be able to write a good locator, right? Or you might not be able to write a locator itself for your case. You have only two options, okay? Two options. One, the locator part, I mean, which can take care of almost all the cases. One is using this locator part, and you can specify your own XPath or CSS path and get the element, or this get by rule. But for doing that, you need a lot of information about things which we don't have. So let's park it away. But if you still want to use it, depend on the recording options. Okay, there you will get it automatically, and this is what Playwright will always generate, right, while you record things. Okay, so I hope you are clear with the locators part, and we know like how to work on it, right? So what next? What next? What next? Yes, let's look at the recording options, right? We wanted to look at the recording parts. We will go in deep, right, in all the methods, maybe in the evening or maybe tomorrow. Let's see when this class will end today. Accordingly, I will plan a class afterwards. So let's start the recording part, right? Let us look into this part, like how it really works. If you have to start recording, right, what you have to do is you have to say npx playwright and then use CodeGen. CodeGen means code generator, right? By default, what this does is it opens the Chromium browser for you, okay? And a Playwright inspector. Inspector means, right, it is like a UI which helps, which will show you all the code generated. And what we have to understand currently is the controls which are given here, right, on this code generator. Let's start seeing them one by one. Okay, if you see these two screens, right, in both the screens you have similar options. Look at this. This is the way you can drag, right, left and right, okay, using this part. Where is that thing went? Here, right? And for the, if you want to navigate, move this, you can move it through this. If you see this red button, right, this is to record or stop recording, right? You can say record. If it is the red, right, it is recording. If it is in this state, it is not recording. Okay. You can see the screen also getting in this color, right? Again, here in the inspector also you have the similar options. You can record, or you, so now it is recording. If you put it, you see a black screen, a black icon. It means it is not recording. Second thing, you see the second option, which is to pick a locator. Here also the similar element, right? Let us open our website, which is this case. So let's grab it and have it here. So it is currently being recorded, right? I believe. Yes. You can see, right? This screen over here, right, will show you the code which will be generated, right, as part of your actions which are taking on the screen, right? Now, I told this last time also, right? You can change. Playwright supports multiple languages, right? So if you are not interested in JavaScript or TypeScript and you are interested in Java, right, you should use. There are multiple options. You can generate for Java, Python, C#, right? Debugger, you can leave it. But these are the four things. For JavaScript, you should be using Node.js. If I want to generate the code, the same code for Java, just do it this way, right? You will see all the code for Java now. If you want to see it for Python, this is how Python script will look like. If you want to generate it for C#, right, I think this is what you have to use. I am not, I don't know C#, even a bit of it, so I cannot guarantee what it is showing right now. Okay, but yeah, this is, you understand. Okay, so you have to understand about this screen and this part, right? The second thing is where you're talking about the locator, right? Let's say you want to find the locator, right? You want to know the, you don't want to generate the script, you want to see what is the locator, right? And let's say I want to work on this email field. I don't know, let's say I don't know how to write a locator strategy for it. If you see, right, by default, if you hover over on any element which you want to click on, let's say home here, right? If you see, Playwright is intelligent enough, right, to give you the locator even just on hovering over it. See there, it is showing you get by role, right? The get by role thing which we just saw. Get by role is, I believe, it's a default way of finding the elements in Playwright, and this is what it will keep on showing you, right? So if you are okay with it, you can just use this part, right? You can see all the elements like this, right? The path, the locators of all the elements by just hovering over it, right? But let's say that by just hovering over it is not what you want, right? You want the text to be also seen so that you can copy it out. You cannot copy it from here, right? By just hovering over it. If you want to copy it, click on this, pick locator, and click on it. As soon as you click on it, right, go to the screen, you will see on the right, on the bottom side, right, you will see that locator being displayed. Now you can make a copy of it and use it in as per your needs. Okay, this is one way. So this locator tab over here will show you the locator of it, right? Now the logs part, okay, log and this, right? If you see, it shows you, right, the area part. Yeah, Anand, please.
Sorry to interrupt you. Just a quick question: is there a way to change the default locator strategy of inspector?
In this case, no, I don't think so. I don't think so.
So
I did
it will
not.
speak on its own.
Yeah, this is working on its own. The best, see, what Playwright would be doing here is it would be finding, based on the strategies it is aware of, right? It is using them and trying to see like which is the best thing to do it in this case. In majority of the cases, you will see that it is able to find the things using get by role. Okay,
Got it.
right, and that is what you will see in almost every place. Right now, the locator which you copied here, right, which you picked right now, right? If you see, right, there is a name and there's a field to it, email thing, right? Now, let's say you are someone, right, who are interested to understand like okay, what is the accessibility part here, right, which can help. So they are giving you this area tab also, right, which shows you that here, right, in this field there is something called email, right, which is, I mean, this is the property and the value, right, which they have used to find the element. Okay, again, this could be useful for people who are coming from accessibility background, not me. I've never worked on it. So, but again, if someone understands this better, right, they can make use of it. Log, I'm not sure what is log about. I will read about and let you know. But this is what I think which matters to you, right? This locator tab, which will show you the exact locator strategy which Playwright did to find the element. Similarly, let's say I want to find the sign in button. Again, click on it and click on sign in. Even on hovering, you were seeing this, but now if you see this, right, this has changed. So at a time, it will show only one locator, right, which you have identified. Earlier, it was showing email. Now you asked, right, give me the locator of this element. It is giving you that. If you check the area, you can see, right, it's a button and this is the text of it, right? In last case, it was showing it was a text box and it was giving the field for it, which it was able to find. If you want to copy this, you can either, I think you cannot copy it, you can copy it from here also, but there's a convenient way of copying, right? You can just copy. Okay, sorry, and you can come back to this part and let's say you want to paste and this will get pasted, right? This is how you copy paste from there. Okay, so we are good with this also, right? So we understand these three things and this copy button also, right? Let's move it. Similar thing you can do from here, right? Pick a locator. You can click on it, click on password. You can see, right? So similar options, just the convenience, right? Either you use there from there or from here. The next option, which is what? Which is to assert visibility. Okay, assertions, right? This is to do the assertions. Let's see. Again, we have not seen assertions, but let's just understand. Let's say I want to assert something, right, on this part, on the email field, right? Let's click on it. And since it says assert visibility, right, it will be doing what? It will be checking. It will put an assertion on the script, which will do what? It will find this element and put an assertion so that it should be visible. Let's see the code. You see this? This is the element which you are trying to find. It has put an assertion to it, expect, and then what it is expecting it to have to be visible. Okay. So this is primarily, I mean, this is I mean, they are giving you a shortcut, right, to just assert visibility, right, for this part. It could be of use, it could not be of use, depending on our approach, right? Okay, the next part, assert text. So there's another assertion which you can use from this. Okay, here also, right, the same option was available, assert visibility. Now you look at assert text, right, and then you have what? You have assert value, and then you have assert snapshot. Snapshot is for people who wanted to assert the two different images, right, which is out of our scope of learning and all. So we'll not talk about it. But these two things, but all these four, right, are for assertion part. This is for visibility. This is for the text part. If you want to assert a text, let's say I want to assert this sign in thing, right? So what I'll do is let's do it from here, right? From this again, all these options are same. So if you do the assert text, right, and click on sign, let's say this text, right, I want to assert sign in. If you click on it, now it is saying assert that element contains text, right? Let's say I will say assert. So if you see, right, this sign in thing, right, becomes my actual value on the screen, right? Let's say I want to assert it against a expected value, right? And let's say for me the expected value was Akhil, right? And I can do what? Put a tick on it. If you do this, see here, it found the element using this button thing, right? Get by role button, and then it is saying that this button over here should have this text, right? Again, it is putting an assertion to it. Just a shortcut for you to see over there, right? The next part, which is to assert value, right? Assert value. So again, you can do it from here or from here. Let's do it from here. If you look at here, right? Oh, I stopped recording or what? Yeah, we are recording, right? So we have to say assert value. Let's assert here. What is saying is to be empty, right? Okay. Let me fill some value, Akhil. And then what I'll do is I'll assert this out. Okay, I will assert this. If you see this time, right? Whatever value you would have in that field, right? It is showing you, right? Here in this case, where is that? In the last case, it was saying to be empty because it was empty at that point of time. Now I have some text to it, so it just automatically picked it up and said that it should have a value like this. Okay, assertions we'll understand more once we discuss about it, but I'm just telling you that we have utilities here, right, available. For my thing, right, I might not be using the recording approach. Okay, I might not be using, but for people who, because I like to write my things, my own things, but if I have a problem in finding the element, right, using a good locator strategy, in those cases I might come here and try to find the elements. But for the people who are beginning, right, with Playwright, this could be a good thing, right, to have, where you can just do all your stuff on the screen, get your script recorded, and just extract the values from it and bring it to your code, right? So these five things over here, right, are same as this. The next things, if you see here, right, this is a copy. What copy will do what? I don't know whether it will copy everything or what. Let's say copy. Let's do one thing. Let's open a notepad. Does it copy the entire thing? Because for copying we have, well, let's see. I think yes, it copies the entire script only, right? Okay, let's see. Oh, my notepad is taking time. Let's copy it here. So if you see, right, it copied the entire test case, right? Whatever was generated over there, it gets copied from there, right? Control Control Z. Okay, so where it is here, right? Okay, this is to the copy part. Now you see these three options also, right? Step over, pause, and debug. When will you see these happening? These things works when you are running your code in the debugging mode. Okay, in the debugging mode. Here you cannot debug. As of now, you are not in the debug mode. You are trying to record the scripts, right? How did you get into debug mode? Will That's the next topic which you're going to discuss now. Okay. Uh, so while you are recording the script, you are not in the debug mode. So these options does not make any sense. That's why these are disabled as of now. The play button is also disabled. This does not have any impact on it, and even the step override is also disabled. Okay, so this option you have already known about, like how what it is about, right? To generate the script as per you need. So I want to generate Python script for it. You can just change it. I want to generate JavaScript. This is what we got. JavaScript is this one, right? Then what you have, what you have, clear, right? If you want to clear the screen, just click on it and it will get cleared. And I think this is to toggle color mode. So if you switch it, you can just change the mode to white or to black, right? This is more easy to wise, so I'll have it this way. Okay, so this is what. Okay, okay. If you see this utility, right, the one which I'm moving right now, this is called as Playwright Inspector, right? Playwright Inspector is a utility, or let's say a tool, right, within Playwright, which gets opened up in two cases. Either you are recording the script, or either you are debugging the script. In both the cases, this thing, right, will open up. Okay, this entire thing will open up. In case of code generation, right, these three options will not be available. But when you would be debugging, right, all the options would be available for you. You can even, I think you can also put assertions, or you can pick a locator, or even record things if you wanted to in that kind of a scenario. But debugging options are always, I mean, are available in that particular case. So let's just clear this out. We don't need, okay, okay. Why it is not clearing this thing? No, we don't need. Okay, this is the default template. That's why it is not deleting, I believe. No, this is the default template. That's why at least this part will not get deleted, but the ones which we recorded, right, as part of the screens, those are getting deleted. Okay, fine, right? So let's stop this. So how did we started this? We started using npx playwright CodeGen. Now the next part, right? Okay, let me just make sure that we understand this part. I'll come here. Let me open a new board. You do not have this kind of a thing in WebDriver IO, right? So there is no such thing in WebDriver IO similar to this. So this is unique to Playwright. Okay, the recording feature, as far as I remember on WebDriver IO. Okay, this part. Yes, Kiran.
So we can make like better use of CodeGen for user specific locators like get role and
Huh.
area role.
That's why, right? That's why I was saying, right? If you want those
Mm,
kind of locators in your script, please use codes in it
yes. And I think
because
it is
hmm,
faster than CSS selector, or is it the same?
I'm sure it is faster than CSS selector
So
because
we can
this is
just
something, right? If Playwright is using it, right, and it is the default way of finding the elements, then you can be very sure that this would be the fastest way to find the elements,
yes.
right? But then you will have to learn it how to write it,
Right.
right? But again, if you do not want to learn it, you have a very easy way to write them using the code generation part.
Question. Yes.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. So we are talking about different tools, right, which Playwright has. So one of those we have discussed is CodeGen. When you say CodeGen, what Playwright does is it opens a Chromium browser for you, right? Chromium browser for you, and along with it, right, it also opens a inspector, right? Playwright inspector. Playwright inspector, which is like a pop-up, right, where you get controls to record things and do things, right? And on this browser, right, Chromium browser, whatever you do, right, whatever you do, it will get recorded here. That is what happens. Now the next thing which we have to discuss is which I want to understand, which I want you to know is there is a VS Code extension, right? VS Code extension for Playwright. For getting this, what you do is go to doc section. Here there should be integrations, I believe. No, VS Code. Getting started VS Code, right? This part. Get started with Playwright with in VS Code. What you do is you have to get this extension, Playwright test for VS Code. How do you get it? Go to your VS Code in the market, not here. Where is the marketplace here? Extension, right? Extensions. Go to extensions and search the extension here, right? So Playwright. Let's just write Playwright. You see Playwright test for VS Code. In my case, I have already installed this. Okay. In your case, let's say if it was not installed, you would have seen an install button like this. Okay, against it. Just click on install, and you will see this extension getting installed in your VS Code. Okay. Once this get installed, right, my recommendation would be to please close your VS Code and restart it again. Okay, so that the changes can take effect. In some cases, they might be immediate, and you might not have to do it. But just to maintain the proper functioning of VS Code with this extension, I would suggest please close the VS Code and then restart it. Okay, since I already have it, let's talk about further, right? So this is the extension which you need, right, from the marketplace. Now there are a lot of things which this extension provides you: running the test, debugging test, generating test, right, project dependencies, and there are more. Okay, let me show you what do you get after doing this. Once installed, open the command panel and type install playwright. Okay, okay, so they are okay. So what they're saying is this you can do even before installing playwright, right? So you, let's say you have got the extension. In our case, we have already installed Playwright, right? We have already done the Playwright installation. We have already done npx install Playwright using these commands. If you remember, right, how to install Playwright, we have already ran these commands, and because of it, we got our project structure, which looks like this, right? Which looks like this. So there was some default folders and the files being available because of the this command being executed, right? What they are saying is that let's say you have not done all of that and you are starting fresh, you can first install this VS Code extension in your machine, and once you are done with it, what you should do is you can come here, right, and do one thing: go and type install Playwright, right, on over here, right? Okay, how to open this mode? For that, there would be a shortcut uh, which I am not very good at, but let's try to see. So let's say install, no, we do is command.p, right? I think show and run commands, this one, right? So if you see, right, the shortcut for doing is this. Mine is a Windows machine. The shortcut is you have to open this show and run command, Control Shift plus P. Okay. So if you press Control Shift plus P, what it did? Okay, I should come back from here, Control Shift P, and you will see this. This has opened that mode, right? Show and run command. Now here, right, what you have to do is you will see a lot of things, but what you have to do is you have to say install Playwright. You see, install Playwright. You will get this option, right? If you don't get it, just type it by yourself, the entire thing, and once you get it right, just click on enter. Let me show you exactly. Let me do one thing. Let me get a new project. Yeah, Anand.
Akhil, can you again revisit how you open the command panel?
For doing that, right, what you do is you have a Windows machine, Anand.
Yes.
So do one thing. Press Control plus Shift plus P.
Okay. Okay. Right now I'm on a Mac machine, but I do have a Windows
Okay.
machine.
On the
Yeah,
Mac machine, it's a different hotkey. I think Kiran can tell you. Yeah.
yeah, so I tried it. We can use Command Shift and P. That will open.
Command Shift and P. Okay.
Okay. Instead of Control, it's Command. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Right,
Thank you.
Hasan?
Yeah, basically command button is kind of alternative of control.
Right. In case of Mac machines.
In Mac.
Right. But to make things confusing, they also have a control key.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
They do have it.
So okay. So yeah. So what I was saying, command. But I am not very good in remembering shortcuts, so I'll have to maybe ask you again and again. But this is how it done, right? But let us not do it here. I will open a new folder somewhere and let's see like how will it do it. So let me open a folder. Yeah, Hasan, please.
The you're trying to install the Playwright test plugin, right? But you have to also have another plugin installed. Otherwise, you're not going to see the panel on the left, which is Test Explorer. That's another plugin you need to have it. And that both combined, it works together in VS Code.
Which one?
That's
Which one?
It's called Test Explorer.
Test
Yeah.
Explorer. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Okay.
Maybe
Let's
you
see.
can do that on the no, you can do that on the same project. I mean, that shouldn't affect your. Yeah, maybe click here. Yeah, click in the testing.
Mhm.
Oh, you already have a Text Explorer. You already have it. You already have the plugin installed, and you also have that the Playwright test plugin already
Yes,
installed.
yes. I think my VS Code has all the things, so that's why you're
You
seeing
already
on
have it.
here,
Yeah.
right? So, okay. For Test Explorer, what is the extension you're mentioning? I thought it came along with Playwright, but let's see.
I think it does. I think it does. I think it does come with it. Otherwise, if you get rid of the Test Explorer plugin, you're not going to be able to see the Playwright plugin.
If you see, right, I have not installed this.
Yeah. And the Playwright test, it comes with it.
Right.
That's
So, yeah, right. So what happens is if you install that extension, right, it also gives you this Text Explorer, due to which you get this testing tab visible on your VS Code. Otherwise, you will not be seeing this. Anand, are you seeing this testing thing on your VS Code as of now? If you have not installed,
I'm seeing it.
you're seeing it.
Yes.
Okay.
Just checking it. Hold on.
I thought it comes only with that once you have that thing over there, right? It is not by default available.
the Text Explorer gives you that one.
This is by default.
No, not by default. You have to have it by Text Explorer.
Right. That is what.
Actually, I only have one extension downloaded, that is Playwright Test for VS Code, and I can
And
see the text explorer.
you are seeing this because that Playwright extension, right, also has made this available, right, on your VS Code. And that is was the case with me also, right? I did not install Test Explorer. I installed Playwright extension.
Test, yes.
Okay, and
Same
along
did.
with it, this also came.
Yes.
Okay.
This test ing is not there in my.
Right, because
I-
you have not installed Testing Explorer or maybe the Playwright VS Code, right? But once you do
Yes.
it, so do not install Testing Explorer. Okay, don't do that. Just install the Playwright one. Okay.
What should I type exactly?
You should go to the market. You should go to the marketplace, right? Like where I am
Yes.
right now. Just type here Playwright. You will see the
Playwright.
option. Right. Playwright test for VS Code.
Yes, I see it.
Okay,
This is the one
you
which
should
is
see,
installed.
and you should see that this is coming from Microsoft. Okay, there could be some dummies or someone else would have
Oh
also placed in
yes.
the marketplace. You should check for the
Yeah.
Microsoft one and click on
Yeah.
install, and you will see this extension getting installed, right? Switch off
Yes,
your,
I am.
close your VS Code and then restart it again, and you will see all these things over there. At least the testing part, which is what we want.
What
Okay,
else I should be seeing apart from this testing?
you would not see anything else. I think that is the only thing which will get added.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
but once you are on the testing part, you will see Test Explorer on the top side and the Playwright section on the bottom left, on the bottom left side, like this, right? And also, right, what you will see is you will see a new tab here, right, in the terminal, which is with the name as Playwright.
Okay. I do
Okay.
see testing has got enabled, but I'm restarting it to take the full effect again.
Yeah, yeah, please, yeah, do that part, right? Okay.
Okay.
I was also trying to open a new window for Playwright, this VS Code, and let's also do one thing. Let us open the folder. Let me open any folder here. Yeah, please. Am
I
I?
I was going through that extension Playwright test for VS Code,
Uh-huh.
and it shows what it does, and it has some short videos in it, like GIF videos. So if
Right.
anyone wants to know what this extension do, the description shows GIF and the headers. In the extension of Visual Studio Code app.
Okay. There, if I go, what are you saying? Where it
In the
shows?
when you download the extension, can you go in the extension tab?
Mm-hmm.
Click on that first extension.
Which one?
First the Microsoft one.
This one.
Yeah.
Here in the details, we have the GIFs. Uh, Scroll the main page.
Oh, here, right? You're saying okay.
Yes. So here they're saying this is the prerequisite, and here they're saying run the test with single click.
Right, right.
Can you go?
But if
So
you see, right, if you see this, what I want you to also understand this, like I think this is the same information which you see here also,
Mhm.
right?
Exactly.
It's the
Yes.
same information which you will see, but maybe there it might be more updated because it is coming along with extension. So here you might see some outdated thing also because it's a website again. So, but yeah, these are the two different places from the same information can be grabbed.
Mhm.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
just restarted my ID and I can see testing tab, and also I'm able to see the Playwright tab in the terminal beside the
The
terminal.
terminal, right? Right.
Yeah.
So these are all coming because of this extension being enabled in your VS Code. Okay.
Okay.
And you can see the downloads. How many people are downloaded? 13,65,731 people. 1.3 million. Okay, great. Right? Okay. It's a small number. It should have been more than that, but fine. Playwright is not being used by everyone, right? But yeah, this is taking market by storm. So this has to be there. Okay, right. So let's do it very quickly now. Let us go to the extension which I've opened up now. This one, and why am I not seeing this here? Okay, I have to open the folder. Not self. Yes, self here. There is my folder for full stack asset, and we are running Playwright right now. Playwright, and let's create a folder here. New folder, dummy, uh, dummy Playwright. Okay, let's select this. Select the folder. So this is the exchange. So this is what we have. What we'll do is we'll type Control Shift plus P. Okay, and I will say install Playwright. Okay, after saying install Playwright, it is asking me the browsers to install Chromium, Firefox, WebKit. Right? I already have all of them. Right? And you want to use JavaScript or you want to use TypeScript. So here you can see by default it is TypeScript. Right? So if you enable it, it will not be the project will not be configured to use TypeScript. It will be working with JavaScript more. Okay, and by default, if you don't want to install these browsers, you can leave it. But Let's say we want them, right? And get GitHub action workflow. This we don't need as of now. Let's remove it and say okay. If you say okay, right, you will see it will start downloading all of this. You can see npx npm init playwright test. If you remember, right, this is the same command which we fired when we were installing the project, which is being mentioned here also. See, the same command, right? After this, right, once you do all of this, it then asks you to downloads the browser. Is it showing it or not? Npx playwright install, right? This is the command. Also download new browser binaries, right? So this is what it does. But this will happen. All of this is things are happening automatically due to that extension now. Okay. If you see the right, I have got the project structure similar to what I generated last time. You will see a node modules, you will see the test, right? You will see package.json config file. So all of this is getting created because of that extension, right? And you can get the project ready. Okay. What next do you see over there? So this is about creating a project, which we did, right? Installation, right? So installation of the VS Code, and this is about installing the creating our project structure, right? Opening the testing sidebar. Now, if you see, right, the testing sidebar can be opened by clicking on letter. This will give you access to the test explorer, which will show you all the tests in the project, as well as Playwright sidebar, which includes project settings and tools and setup. Now, the important part here is this thing, right? This testing thing. This got introduced, this got added to your VS Code because of the Playwright that extension, right? And what does it have? It has two sections to it. One is the test explorer, and second is the Playwright, right? Now, if you see right now, what you have currently is, you see this test part, right? Test section. This shows you the folder, right, which contains your test cases. How does it know that this is the folder which contains the test case? It knows about it because in your config file, you have mentioned test directory as test. Okay. If you change it to something else, I believe it will change, right? Let us find this. Let us try to make a change here. Let's say tests explorer. Oh, sorry, examples, right? Examples, and save the file. And let's go to testing. You see? Okay, it is loading. You see test examples now. I hope this is clear, right? So to show you things over here, right, it is dependent on this config file. Now you said testing test examples. In the test example folder, you have a file. You have one file, right? The same file you are able to see here. See this one, right? Now, and these you can ignore, right? This is the config file which is showing for this one. These are disabled, so ignore it. What you have over here is against your entire folder, you have a play button, you have a debug test, and you have go to test, and then you have turn on continuous run. Continuous run, leave it. But if you want to say go to test, it will do what? It will go there, right, and show you the folder, right? The folder here on your Explorer tab, right? The folder. If you would go to a file and put go to test here, right? It will do what? It will show you this file over here. Let me close it. You see, it will open up a file here, right? And it will show you the file over here so that you can see the content of it, right? This is the file. Okay, so these two are very straightforward and you understand. Now let's say that you want to run a file, you want to run a test case. Now if you would see, right, this test case, this spec file has a lot of test cases. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? There are many test cases there, if you see. Now, and these are all contained under one spec file, right? One spec file. If you want to run all the test cases, right, of this spec file, what you can do is you can just click on this. It will run all the test cases. But let's say if you're interested to run any specific test case, expand this and you will see all the test cases being highlighted here, right? Routing, persistent, and all that, right? I think what they're doing is new to do. What is they've done here? You see, right? Describe block. Okay, we have not talked about describe. I think it's the right time to discuss about it. See this. What I'm telling you here is we are talking about test thing, right? And over here you have a test explorer. Yeah, run please.
Akhil, sorry to interrupt. Until when you are planning to carry on this session?
Maybe 5-10 minutes more.
Okay.
Yeah, Text Explorer, and within the Text Explorer, right, you have what you get. You get the folder first, right? The folder which contains the file. Within the folder, you will see all the spec files, and within a, so let's say if you have 100 spec files in this folder, you will see all 100 files here, right? Spec one, let's say this is 100. Within, and what you can do is you can expand the spec file, and here then what you will see, you will start seeing the test cases. But in a test case, if you open the spec file, let's say this is the spec file, spec one. If you have a test, let's say test written like this, and you say test case one, and you have a thing mentioned, right? So it will show up here like this, test case one. Okay. But if you have a test.describe, which is a way to group your test cases together, right? So describe is a like you have test.skip, test.only, and test, right? So there is a method on test which is called test.describe, which helps you to group multiple test cases. So you can do, say, let's say test group, and what you will do is within this test describe, you will have test cases, test, and you will have test case one, test, test case two, and all that, right? So if you have done this grouping, what will happen here is you will see this group name right over here, which is, let's say, TG, right? You will see TG here, and there would be an expand button here. If you expand this, you will see the test cases mentioned within it, like this, right? And now why I'm telling you all this, because this Test Explorer gives you a convenient way to run things on demand, right? And as per your wish. Let's say you are interested to run the entire test spec which you have. Then you need to do what? There is a play button against this folder. Run this. It will run everything within it. If you say no, I don't want to run it, I want to run a specific spec file, there's a play button here also. Go and run it. It will run this. No, let's say you say no, I don't want to run it, I want to run a specific test case. Yeah, there's a play button there also. Go and run it. If you want to run the complete group, yes, there's a play button. And within every test case, so what I want to tell you here is that for every level, right, you have a play test button, okay? And against every test case, you have a debug test also. Debug test, right? And these are the two things which are very vital for us, right? And which gives you the control to run any test case at any point of time, and it gives you in a single view, right? All of this. And that's why this is too much handy. Okay, you can see here. If you see this again, right, you have, this is your test, this is your folder, this is your file. Within the file, you have these many describe blocks. Let's say item. If you expand this, within this describe block, you have these test cases. And if you want, you can just run them as is, right? Okay, so this is what, so this view gives you the view of your test cases which you have in your folders, right? Now, what about this Playwright section, right? This Playwright section helps you to run your things on a specific project, right? Or maybe change something. If you see, right, in the Playwright thing, you have a tool section where it shows you similar information like pick locator, record new, right? If you click on record new, it will do what? It will open the code generator for you, right? You do not have to write the command npx playwright CodeGen. It will open the Chromium browser for you, right? You can see, and it will open up Playwright inspector for you. It is waiting for it to start. See, it is waiting. So let's see. Hopefully it will come up. Okay, so I don't know, like, can you please try at your end? Does it opens the Playwright inspector for you or not? I hope it does.
We need to click on the record now button, right?
No, what I expect is that it should have shown you that script part. Okay, maybe here it does not open it because here it generates the file automatically here only. Okay, that's why. Okay, got it. So if you open your record new, right, from here, right, you see there is a automatic template created, a file got created here automatically, test1 spec.
Yeah.
Right. And what happens here is, like, in that view, right, you were seeing this kind of a screen only, right, where the test script was being shown. So here you get this view here only. So there is no view, there is no point of that Playwright part. Okay. Now this is currently recording, right? So let's hit the URL. So I will open, let's say, Facebook again, right? If you do this, you will see the command getting generated right over here only. So now it is not a Playwright inspector where the things will be recorded or shown. It will be showing here only. Okay. Now let's say this is again you do any operation, all of this will get recorded. Second thing, pick a locator, right? You remember there also we have a pick a locator. So if you click on it, go to your right. Let's say you're picking this one, right? You have picked this up. Great. Go back. If you see this now, right? Where is that locator being displayed? In the Playwright inspector, there was a section in the below part where it was showing the locator information, right? What about this? Where is it showing you the locator? It is showing you in the Playwright tab here. See this? Similar information, right? I hope, right? You're able to understand this part.
Yes.
Okay, for me, why I'm not able to see get test by? Okay, you clicked on some email or any button, right?
Yeah, I clicked on it, something, right? That's why.
I just opened a page.
Yeah, you have to click on pick locator and then make a click on some locator, right? And then Playwright will show you things over here in the Playwright tab, the locator and the area part. Okay. The another thing, right? So if you see record new, right? Record new did what? It opened a new script, right? It opened a new script and started recording, right? Let us stop the recording. Let's say you wanted to. I'm here, right? And I want to record something there, right? Say, right? I will say record at cursor.
Okay.
Let me just stop recording this first of all. Let's say record at cursor. Right? It should not open a new file. And let's say I'm saying Facebook. You see? It recorded here, wherever your cursor was at that point of time in your script. Sometimes what happens is, let's say you want your one of your test cases is failing, right? And you are given a task to, let's say, fix it. Now, in those cases, right, there is a minor change which you have to do. Let's say add one more step. So what you should do is you should come to that spec file, right? Open this test explorer, come here and click on record at cursor after placing it on the right place where that step needs to be added, and just go to the screen wherever you want it to be, right? And then make a click. Okay, and then it will whatever you record, it will be recorded here. Getting the utility of this?
Yes.
Right now, if you see, right, there is a browser running for it, right, over here. Now what you can do is, it says close all browser. Let's see whether it will close it or not. You see, when I clicked on it, whatever browsers were opened by Playwright, right, will get closed. Right? Now there is no browser opened by Playwright, so it is gone. If I start again, right, recorded cursor, let it start the browser, and you will see this getting enabled again. If you click on it, this browser will be closed. If you want to close it from it, you can close it here also, but there's a utility here only, right? Click on it. Reveal test output is something we'll see, right? What does this do? I will have to also check.
Akhil, how do we add the locators that we have picked in the like here like you have picked a locator get tested by ID royal email.
I did not write this. What I have done is,
Yeah, you picked.
I just clicked on this one, right?
Yeah.
After starting recording, right? So
Yes.
let's say here, right? Facebook. If we do Facebook, if I did this and pick locator, I clicked on it, right? Or let's say here login button.
Yeah.
If you see, right?
Yeah.
It will automatically be displayed here.
Okay.
And if you want, I think you can copy it from here, I believe.
Okay, copy and then just use it.
Paste it wherever you want.
Okay. Alongside our.
Again, any place, right? Wherever you think that it needs to be updated or being added.
Okay.
Yeah, Kiran, please.
Also, if we like return previous test cases and we copied like experts manually, we can see this view for that particular selection as well. If you go to the cursor and then select the playwright, then also it shows the locator and the area.
Where I should open
So-
the previous test case.
Previous test case, can you do?
Yeah, then let me just stop this part. Yeah. This is the previous test case. Yeah, tell me. I should go to testing.
Just go to us. Can you go to that email line? Click cursor on email.
This one, okay.
Yeah. Now, can you get the terminal view?
Oh, okay, okay. You're saying in the terminal it would show this.
Yeah, the Playwright tab besides the terminal. Yeah, it is the so if you select that, then the
No,
whole.
I don't think so. It will show you this, right?
Okay,
It will not show
I
you.
thought it is showing. I think the recorded ones show.
It is showing you only the ones which you will pick a when you say pick a locator, right? Only those things will be
Okay,
shown, not the
okay,
ones which are sitting in your script right now. It's not that you can control. You can just right click on it or try to see the locator. Locators
okay,
you're already seeing right over here only.
okay,
So
okay,
that is what it is, right? Okay.
okay.
Very quickly, let's move ahead. Just 2 more minutes. If you see this, so we are good with this, right? Reveal test output. Just ignore it as of now. We'll see what to do about it. This is more about sessions. Yeah, Hasan, please.
Hi, Akhil. So, the at the terminal, right? So you see the player option. Only when you're recording the test, we'll see those. What locators has been identified. It would display here.
No, no, no. When you do a pick locator, right? Only in that case you will see the locator in this case.
Okay.
Okay.
Whatever that, Dora, whatever that player is finding, it would show here.
Yes, yes, yes. Whatever is playwright is finding while you are trying to record, or let's say while you are asking playwright to find the element for you. If
So
you use this,
that's the manual approach. Like then you copy paste it.
yes, just then, right? And this can be helpful for you if you are not interested in recording the entire script and looking for just for the element part,
Right, right. Okay,
right?
okay. Customization. Okay, okay.
Right, right. But again, this would be available while you open this recording option, right? It will be always happening on a new browser. It's not that you have a browser sitting somewhere running, right? And you said, okay, let me get a locator from it using
No, no,
Playwright.
no.
Playwright will not do it for you. Playwright will
You
have to
you,
have,
you have to. You
uh,
sorry about that.
you have to be in the recording mode, right? That is what I'm saying.
Recording mode. Right, right. You have to
Right,
initialize that recording in order for you to pick a locator. Right.
right, right. Okay, great, right? So let's go to the project
So
section, right?
it's
Yeah, please.
similar to like any extension that we use, like a selector sub extension that we use in Chrome.
Yes, yes, yes,
It is exactly in the
yes, yes.
ID.
So you can see, right? Playwright is also killing those kind of tools also, right? It is
Mm.
it is covering the market for those tools also. Okay, great, right?
Yes.
So, okay, the next section, right? The project section. What do you see projects here, right? If you go to your config file, right? We have created multiple projects. This is your project section, right? Whatever projects you create here, if you see, right, I have 4 of them. Setup project, tear down project, Chrome based browser, and Chrome, right? All 4, and you will see all 4 of them being displayed here, right? Now, when you say that, okay, what is the usefulness of these, right? Let's say you have run a, you, what does it show in the above side? It shows you test cases, right? Now let's say you have a specific test case and you want to run. Let's say I have a project for Firefox also, right? Currently I have it for Chrome or tear down and all that, right? Let's say I want to run a specific test case on Chrome only, right? What would I do is I will just select Chrome, right? And now when I go to a test case and run it, right, it will run using this project, which is Chrome. And here, if you see, right, what does this Chrome project working on? It is working on the Chrome browser. Getting it? Tomorrow, let's say you want to run that same test case on the Firefox, right? What you can do is you will add a project here, right? That project will be shown here. Just select Firefox from there and run it, right? So from a single point of view, right, you can do the execution, right? It will help you to run all of that. Getting it? What is the project section for? Yeah.
The browser actually, if you go down, it also gives you all the browsers, right?
No, no, no. It does not give you any browser. It is giving you the projects which you have in the config file,
In the config. Oh, okay,
right?
okay.
In the config file in this project section, right? This is the section where you define the browser, right? If you see here, right, I am in the
Oh, it's
setup
coming for
project.
the projects. Okay, I got it.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
it's just coming from the projects.
Nice. I didn't know
Okay,
that. By default, it provides. By
right.
default, it gives you. By default, it gives you, right?
It gives you what you have in the config file.
I
Okay.
didn't know.
And now it is your responsibility to add the relevant projects in the config file from your side. But whatever you add will be displayed like this over here in this section. Okay.
Got it.
The next part, setup part. Setup part shows you the run global setup, run global teardown, right? Let's say you're trying to run something, right? See, you have to understand why we are using this plugin here, right? What it is helping me. It is not helping me to run my entire suite here, no, right? This is meant for you so that you can do debugging, right? Or maybe do something, right? If you wanted to fix something, or maybe you're designing something new test case, right? In all those cases, this is what will be very essential, right? This is not a replacement for your entire execution. For doing that, you would run it you through the command line only, right? But let's say you are interested to write a test case. So what you will do is, let's say, and for doing the test case, you have to run some global setup. What are those? Which you specify over here, right? This global setup and global teardown, right? So if you want to run those, these are the options, right? If you click on it, what it will do? It will go and run this file. Let me run it. Let's run this. Let's go to the terminal. Does it show you debug? If you see this, right, test result, running global setup. That was the only thing which was mentioned in that file. Let me show you this part. Run global setup, right? Which is this file. See this, running global setup. This is what it ran, right? Similarly, we have the teardown file also, right? And it can execute accordingly. And the last part is clear cache, right? Clear cache, I think clear cache is something for the browser level. Okay, I'll look into it and tell you, right? This part. But these two are for that only, right? The last part, show browser, right? If you wanted to work in a headed mode, please select this. But if you want to do not want to see the browser being opened up, you can just unselect this. Yes, Hassan, please.
Hey, Akhil, run global setup and run global teardown. What are those?
Okay, we have discussed this earlier, right, Hassan,
Okay.
in our discussion. These
Okay.
are like what Playwright does is, Playwright says that, let's say, before starting a single piece of execution, you wanted to do some setup, right? Maybe for your test environment or something else, right? So
Mhm.
Playwright has a mechanism for doing that. What you can do is go to the config file, have a global setup field here, right? And against this, specify the file which contains the code which will do the setup for you.
I see. I see. Okay.
Okay. So what it is doing is, if you run it, it will going to run this file from here.
I see. Got it.
Okay. Now show browser, I told you, show browser is like if you wanted to see the browser, right, in function. Okay. If you want to see the in not, I mean, if you want to see the browser, if you wanted to run it in a headless mode, you should select this. You should unselect this. Sorry. Okay. One more thing, show trace viewer, right? Do we know what is trace viewer?
Yeah, Akhil, trace viewer is like getting details on all each executions, the logs
Right.
and everything in
Right.
real
Right.
time.
So if you do a trace viewer, let me run it, right? If you do a trace viewer and let's say I want to run a specific test case. Okay, why it is not showing me the test explorer? Why it is showing 0 by 0? What did I do wrong here? Oh, because I unselected this. Yeah. Test spec file. Oh, setup test. Setup test. Do what I have here. Test file 3, right? Okay, why it is showing only one file? I will check that part, but let's say it is showing this, right? Console and all that. Okay, it should have shown me all the files. It is showing only one. Okay, no worries. Show trace view, right? If you run it in this way, right? If you not set up project, I have to run in the Chrome project, right? Okay, now it shows all the things, right? End-to-end spec file. Now it shows the correct file. End-to-end. What test case I have to run? I have to run the test case. I have to run the test case. Let's say the test case number. Let's run test case 10 only, right? Let's say run this test case only, test case 10. What you will do is, I have selected the project to work on, and I am saying if I select this show browser, right, and go to test case 10 and play it. Let's see what it is. What does it show you? You can see, right, running one test using one worker. It should open the browser for us to see. It should open the Chrome browser. Okay, you can see it did this. This is what we expected it to do, right? And now, right, it shows one pass, and it has not closed the browser by itself. What you have to do is, if you want to close the browser, come here and say close all browsers, and now the browser will be closed, right? Now you could see the execution happening, right? Let's say you are not interested in seeing the browser. What you will do is unselect this and run it again, and you can see, right, it also shows you the pass fail status here. It is like a test runner itself, right? See this? Oh, it opened the browser again. Why did it open the browser? Okay, because maybe I have done the setting way to run in headed mode. Okay, where did I place it? Here, here, so we are not saying what is the Chrome thing. Interesting. It should have not
Yes,
opened it up.
right?
It should have not opened the browser actually. Headless,
Headless is false. You have it.
but this is in the global configuration, right? When I'm saying this to unselect this, it should have not opened this up. Okay, maybe. Okay, I'll check this, right? But okay, my point over here was to tell you like show browser shows you in a proper browser, right? But if you select this show trace view, right, and try to run it, let's run it again. Now this time, see what it will do. It will open the things I think in a UI mode, which looks like this. Playwright trace view, right? In this UI mode. Okay. If you see this, right, you will see the browser. Here the things will be happening. And here, right, you will see a trace viewer being generated for it. See this. Okay, you see a trace view, right? We have not talked about trace viewer in detail, but I showed you about this on day one. If you want to open trace viewer, let's say not by the those extension, maybe by yourself, what you have to do is you will have to go to the you will have to go here, right, on the terminal, and you will have to type your code like this: npx playwright test project equals to Chrome and then UI mode, right? If you do this UI, then you will see this trace viewer being opened up, right? And you will see the similar execution as we just saw, right? Here, right, trace viewer is a discussion for some other day, but this is again gives you the about the history, right? Or the it will store everything, right, which has happened during the execution. And if you're interested to see, let's say in our case, right, there were only two steps. One was to open the page. When you open the page, this is how it looked like. You can see before performing this action, how the screen was looking. It was looking blank like this. But when you perform the action, it looked like this, right? And if let's say there was some after hook also being applied, right, then maybe that would have made some changes, then you would have seen that screen here, right? On top of it, right, it shows you the timeline. It shows you the timeline. This is similar to what you see in the browser, right? In the browsers, in the I think in the network tab, right, you see a timeline. So this is similar to it. You can see like it started at 3 seconds and ran till 3 at 6.0 seconds. It is at 5.5 seconds where you started seeing the something, right, on the screen. Okay, right. So again, trace viewer will talk about in a later class. Let's close this and we'll say, okay, this is done, right? Okay, so show trace viewer, run global setup on each run, right? If you don't want to run global setup by yourself, right, you can just enable it and it will run it every time so that your debugging can be easier. Now update missing snapshots and all this you can ignore. This is not what is meant for you, or at least it would be meant for you, but not serve our purpose as of now. Okay, right? So these are the different things, right, which you need to know about this VS Code, and this will really help you in your debugging part. Okay, one last thing, right? One last thing: how to debug a test case. Let's say I want to debug a test case which looks like this, right? This one. So what you will do is, first of all, let me close everything, right? Close all. Let's say I want to debug a test case, which is this one, right? If you see, right, it shows a play, it shows you click to run test, right click for more options, right? This is the test case. Let's say if you see, every test case shows you a play button. Okay, a play button. But I believe these play buttons will only come up if you have this extension installed. If you don't have it, you will not see this play button. Okay, another utility of that thing, right? Now if you want to run a test case from here only, right, you do not need to run it like this. Just click on it and it will play. Okay, it will run the test case, right? Now, okay, and what properties will it use? It will use the properties which you have specified here, what project to run and all of that, right? let's say I want to debug a test case. I want to debug this test case, right? What you will do is how to debug. Let's say you will put a debugger here, right, like this. Then come to the test case, and you will select the projects to run on, and just say debug test. As soon as you start, right, let's see what it will do. Right, it went into the debugging mode. It is starting. Let's wait. It has ran the global setup file, and now if you see, right, it is starting running one test using one worker. It has opened the browser, right? It just opened the browser for you, right? It did not navigate to the page, and it has came here to stop here, right? Now if you wanted to move ahead, right, you will do what? You will say, again, these are the same options, right, which you have discussed in the JavaScript in the debugging mode, right? This way you can continue, you can step over, you can step into, you can step out, you can restart, or you can stop the execution, right? So if you want to move to the next line, you will say step over. Oh, sorry, step over means what? It executed this, right? And it moved to the next line. This is this, and this is now it is waiting. See? And after this, if you do, test case got completed, great, it will come out of this. It is running, right? It is running. Is it not running? No. Now it is completed, right? Great. So the browser is closed, and now it should also get closed, I believe, by itself, but it takes time. So it is closed from here only. So this is how you debug your test case in Playwright. Are we good with this?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I. Akhil, one question. So basically, the Playwright test plugin is a representation of the config file, where I express some of the other functions, right?
It's not a representation of it, but it works based on the config file. So whatever you specify in the config, so config file is like an input file for that test explorer also, right? Like for Playwright, it is the input file, right? According what you mentioned in the config file, accordingly Playwright behaves. So similarly in the explorer part, in the VS Code extension, whatever you have in the config file, accordingly it will behave.
I see.
But you get the utility to select what to do, right? There only.
As a UI option, right?
Right, as a UI option.
Mhm.
So yeah, so this is what I wanted to cover, and I think we covered very well. We covered three things: the locators part, what we covered, the code generator, and third, the debugging, this VS Code extension. Right, and from tomorrow, evening we'll not have a class now. We'll have tomorrow only, and tomorrow we'll work more on the element side. We'll start looking at all the operations which we can do at element level, and we'll start exploring drop downs and all that. Okay. Trace viewer, I will leave it as of now. Trace viewer will look at after we are done with more things. Okay.
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 Like the same time tomorrow?
Sorry.
Same
Same time tomorrow. Same time tomorrow. Same time tomorrow. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Playwright seems like a final boss of automation.
It is,
It
right?
does everything.
And if you see, right, in the market today, there is something called MCP server, right?
Yeah.
Which is taking things by storm, and this is like the actual use case of AI on Playwright. I mean,
I tried it on my local machine. It's like my laptop. I downloaded the cursor IDE, and then I installed the Playwright MCP. I connected that Playwright MCP to the IDE, and I can write English prompts. I can generate text by using just prompt. Everything works seamlessly. I tried it.
Right. I have not tried it. But I know the process, and what you said is exactly what is happening. So again, exciting things, right, happening in automation field. You get your own chat GPT, right, on your machine, and you can just write the prompt and it will generate the code for you.
Yes.
Okay, guys, I was trying as well in cloudy desktop, but for months I was not sure why it wasn't connected. So then I asked ChatGPT, hey, so this is the log file. What's the issue? Maybe so ChatGPT give me all the steps, like how to debug it. Then I have debugged it, and I was finally connected with my system. And then I was running some tests, but it was failing.
Again, right? If you know how to use the technology around us, it can really be. I mean, this is the difference, right, between you being successful and for others not being not that successful, right? And that is the differentiating factor, at least in today's time. Right. So again, I always encourage people to learn more and more and more. And once you are at this level, start looking for this level then, right? And MCP and being in AI and all that, that is the next level which people should aspire to be in,
Yes.
right? And all the features which you get with AI. And
But
even that is and even that is my goal, right? For the next 6 months after this, once this bootcamp ends, right? I'll be working on the AI then. Only 6 months. I mean, all the 6 months for that part. But yeah, let's see where we go.
Yeah, but I believe everything revolves around if you know all the basics and you
Huh.
can, on top of that, you can get help of and everything and you can be
Absolutely correct.
boosting your
That is the
productivity.
bottom line, right? That's the bottom line. If you don't do that, don't expect AIs to do magical things for you, right? It can't. You need to understand everything first.
Yes.
It is like a helper to you, right? It is not like a doer, right? It's not like a replacement for you. It should be like a helper to you. You understand things and you want to do it fast, do it through AI. But if you don't understand things and you want AI to do it for you, no,
Yes.
that's not the use case which you should try to achieve.
Right.
Right? Great. Okay, thank you so much. I have a meeting in place. Let's see
Yeah.
tomorrow, right?
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Yes.
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye.